Good morning, dear panel members, students, colleagues. So it's delighted we have this opportunity to share your work to our audience. So this morning, we're glad to have our 4 industry panel members. They are on my leftmost side is Mr. Jovi from the MGM. Yeah. And then the next one on his side is Dr. Barry Ip from the Wynn. And then the other is the lady, Celia. He's the ambassador of the Cultural Association Museum. And then the one on this side is again another Barry from MGM. He's from the F&B team. So this morning, the first section, we have 3 presenters, and their presented topic is related to the festival. And the first topic is about the volunteers in the Dragon Dance of Taiwan. And then the second topic is about the reason behind attending the music concert. The third one is about using the festival to maintain the culture, especially among those multicultural people. So we would like to invite the first speaker, student Miss Winnie, yeah, to do your presentation first. Yeah, Winnie. So each presenter have about 50 minutes, and then another 5 minutes for Q&A. So the same for the other presenters. And after the finish of the presentation and the Q&A, and then we will have some souvenir activity for our panel members. And then we will have some photo together. So that is the rundown for this section. Okay, so Winnie, yes. It's your turn.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I'm glad to be here to share my thesis. I'm Winnie, and thank you, my supervisor, to guiding me to finish the thesis. My topic is, what is the role of the volunteer in Taiwan Fire Dragon Dance? Taiwan Fire Dragon Dance is over 100 years traditional, and they have around 300 volunteers to hold the event in every year. And also this event attract a lot of tourism travel in Hong Kong in Mid-Autumn Festival. And also the event is listed in Intangible Cultural Heritage Inventory of Hong Kong in 2011. So this Taiwan Fire Dragon Dance is the famous cultural festival and attraction to attract more tourism to participate in this event. For the research program, the aim of the study is to explore the role of the volunteer in the transmission, continuation, and sustainability of the Taiwan Fire Dragon Dance. And although the volunteer and the volunteering connect with the society and different shareholders, there are some problem, and there are some problem existing in this event. So therefore, the research question is surrounding the problem of manpower, inhabitation, and craftsmanship. For the literature, this will be divided by 4 parts. It's volunteer in transmission, volunteer in continuation, and volunteer sustainability, and volunteer in community. And I select 2 of topic is community and sustainability, because this is the key part of the thesis. Because volunteers have become an important role. They can follow the volunteering to promote the community and community development by improving community capital and promoting social inclusion. For the methodology, using the in-depth semi-structured interview to collect the valuable and primary data. For the finding, this thesis is select the narrative analysis because this can analyze the content from the interview. And the method focus on using the story and experience shared by the interviewee to answer the research question. And there are 4 steps, and there are 4 steps to data analysis. They present the demographic of the interview, who participates in volunteer entire fire dragon dance. There are total 10 interview, and you can see that the table is focused on the male because this is the event traditional rule is only for men to participate, because you need to waste your power to wave the dragon. So the most interview is all male, and this is the mainly composer for male to play the fire dragon. Also, you can see the interview EB who play. He is the key man to maintain the whole event, because he is the leadership level to keep the experience and the event is more smoothly, and because they have full experience of that to guide a lot of volunteers to play the event. And for the thematic table, here is present the interview transcription. The main topic of thesis is based on the motivation is a yellow part, and the blue one is the first level, and this is the main theme is responsibility, meaning and emotion, and event experience. Therefore, they divide the second level of subtheme in green color and the code in white box. As I mentioned before, is the free theme is event experience. This is the first one. This theme is to understand the volunteering background and past experience of volunteer. Each participant have a different level of volunteer experience. Interview said that I brought in and grew in Thailand. I leave a deep impression in my childhood. At the same time, the opportunity of exposure to the event are more than other citizens. Therefore, I can play the different role and learn a lot of skill in event. To sum up this theme, is more of volunteer are full of experience and understand what they need, because we can see the before the demographic data. They are full of they have a longer experience, such as 16 years and 10 years or 12 years. And this is the second theme, is to expand whenever volunteer participate in volunteering for themselves or affected by the community. Their starting point with will affect the future development of the event. the future of the community and personal development. Overall, this theme can demonstrate whenever volunteers are motivated by personal factor and community factor that lead to meaning and emotion for the event. It can be learned that the junior and youth volunteers join the event, become their interest or academic reason. But as the volunteer is grow up, they believe the participate in event is responsibility and even attack the identity of a Tai Han person. For the last theme is responsibility. This is discuss what is the responsible for volunteer. The role of the volunteer influence the decision of different shareholder. Generally, volunteer pay a varying degree of the responsibility to promote the Time Fire Dragon Dance in good direction. In order to continue to spread and inherit the next generation for the event, different shareholders such as government, organization, organize, and volunteer and citizen will find a way to solve the risk and quiz of the event. In conclusion, the role of the volunteer in event is based on the motivation, experience, level, service time, and other factors that affect the role performance. Their thinking and action reflect their loyalty to the event. For example, volunteer with the less participate, they will think this is not important and don't care about the event. For the experienced volunteer, they will care more about the adjustment and challenge faced by the event, and when other problem, nevertheless, ever volunteer play an indispensable and important role in the event. For the recommendation, first, the government can assist the association to show a few teacher videos, such as the process of the cremating and dragon dance posture, because the people can look at the video in the internet and to learn. I also think that it is the good, but there have some problem is because you cannot hands-on to do the question. You can maybe it's not meaningful is to enjoy this. And in terms of the organizer, they can renew the school into the Time Fire Dragon Dance cultural essential, and because people can go to there to review the interesting of news in the central. And this is my key reference, and this is my presentation. Thank you for all listening to my thesis.
Thank you, Winnie, for sharing your work with us. So the next activity is the Q&A sections. So any questions from the floor or classmate? Yes. Yeah.
Because Taiwan is a longer year, is compared with other festival. Because although the event is famous, but there have some problem in there is you can specify to see that. So I select, and also this is I'm interested in this event. Yes. Thank you. Yes.
Fire Dragon Dance. My question is, I think it's a two-part question. Is first of all, from the research and from the participants that you have interviewed, are they all from Dai Hang?
Yes.
Because if they are, what is your feel on volunteer? Are there any volunteers that is not from Dai Hang in this festival? I'm just curious.
This volunteer all from Dai Hang, but original they stay in Dai Hang but live in Dai Hang.
I see. So that's why they all.
Yes.
So all volunteers are from Dai Hang. Okay.
Yes.
I think that well pretty much answers my question, because I was just wondering if they are not from Dai Hang, will they act or be motivated differently than those who are residents of Dai Hang? But if they are all from Dai Hang, then thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
I think to bury just questions at the same time, when you do the research, and when we look into the more sustainable way to maintain this meaningful culture, it more looks like to a place to attach to Dai Hang, the place. Have you explored and think of a way that would that be better to maintain this Fire Dragon culture instead of only maintaining in Dai Hang, to take into this consideration, like surrounding Hong Kong, how many places around Hong Kong has the similar activities for the Fire Dragon? I know that in Macau we have a dragon dance at the same time, but how can you think can put it more sustainable way to maintain this culture besides of Dai Hang, because it might not have many people in Dai Hang in a next few decades, or there may not be a original Dai Hang people.
Thank you for your question. And I had not think this question, and maybe I will take another time to think more. Thank you.
Okay. So any other from the student here? No more? Okay. Thank you, Wynnie, for the presentation. So we will have the next presenter, yeah, BOBO, yeah, and her presentation topic is about the motivation behind attending the music concert. So before she starts, I would like to let you know that we have the online audience too. So it will be better for us, yeah, to use the microphone when we voice out our views. And also for the presenter, when I please hand up this, that means 5 minutes net. Okay. So BOBO,
Yes.
you're ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, it's your time.
Yes, and good morning, everyone. Thank you for giving this opportunity for me in here to present my research paper. And my name is BOBO, and here's my research supervisor, Dino. And today I would like to share my research paper, which is about the live music concert. And I know most of the participants may attend the concert before, and I want to know what is the reason why you want to go to the concert. Is that from your family, friends, or your alone influence? So in here, the reason why you want to attend on those kind of concert is the main reason why I want to do in this paper. So since people's live listening standard is improving and live concerts are becoming increasingly popular in nowadays, and more people may like to spend their time and efforts to info on those kind of concerts. Moreover, since the social media is influenced very quickly, and people may like to use the social media such as WeChat, WhatsApp, Facebook, those kind of social media which can chat with their friends and find some of the information on those kind of social media. And with these kinds of reasons, so here I want to share my thesis paper for you. Sorry. And then based on my literature, there have three areas which are the interest and informed me of my thesis. Firstly, is about the theory of motivation. Based on some theory studies stated that motivation can be closely linked together with the behavior and individual motivation needs, and that can be combined to influence on the behavior. And therefore, understanding those kind of their needs and motivation how can that affect people on attend those kind of concept on the decision making is very important. And second is about the motivation of concert. Different types of motivation can attract people's attention to attend those kind of concert. And based on some of the research which I found out that those kind of research find out people who attend those kind of concert is because of entertainment, escape from reality, socializing, learning, and trying to do new things on that. And for the third one is about the social media influence. And social media is become an important communication channel in nowadays. People may like to use the WeChat, WhatsApp to communicate with people. And also, if you are using those kind of those kind of social media, which can encourage you to want to encourage you more to info in those kind of concerts. And moreover, and some of the research also found out Facebook is the most people who are using in this generation, especially in younger generation, who are using it to deliver their message and show their self-identity. And this situation can see the form of social media platform is changing in the younger generation. So based on the literature, I have developed two research questions, which I would like to find out in my thesis. First question is about why do young people attend on those kind of live concerts? And second is about how do social media platform influence people to attend concerts in their decision-making process. So in the following slide, I would like to talk about the methodology part and share with you the result of my research. Based on my research, is need to find out why people to motivate to attend live concert. And this in this methodology, I'm using the qualitative methods in my thesis. In the research design, and exploratory quality study was conducted in this research in order to investigate the motivation of attending popular music concert, especially using the semi-structured interview with participants to capitalize their motivation for participating in those kind of concepts. And second, for interviewees, the interviewees who are seen for must have the concept experience, and they must know their concepts, well known about the concepts. And most of the interviewee was conducted in the younger generation, and the times of concept experience will have 2 to 3 times. In this point, I don't have very barriers on my interviewee searching, since I want to be flexible and can be efficient to find my interviewee. And for data collection, I have divided it into different parts. First, we'll have some background information and some warm-up question. And then the third part is the important part, which is have some question about the concert motivation and social media influence. And lastly, we'll have the demographic question. And for after gathering all the data together, I will using the coding method to code up the data together to combine it. And the aim is to use the data to answer my research question. So I'm now going to present you the finding in my research. As I mentioned in my methodology, the interviewee, what I found is must have the concept experience, and after summarize my demographic table, I have interviewed 11 people in total, and they are mostly females with some males, but I also have few people, majority of them is come from Macau, and a few of people are come from Taiwan. They all have attend in concert, and a few kinds of concert they are attend, such as jam and some kinds of Korean idols group. And therefore, my sample can fulfill my research objectives to understand the younger generation. So based on the research finding, there have three major themes what I find in my physics paper. First is the event features, second is human connection, and the other is the influence from others. Then there are also make up some themes, sub-themes in that, and I will introduce one by one to you. For event features, and I have combined it in 8 categories, and since all of my interviewees think that those kind of the factor is the main factor which can attract them in attend on those kind of the concert, such as the most important is the performer, and so the support for performer. They state that these two is the most important for them, since they are attract them much to attend on the concert. So in these areas, I have different in these categories. And then the second theme is about the human connection. I have divided into 2 categories. One is the socialization, and the other is the escapism. Some of my interviewees may say that the reason why they go to attend the concert is because of meet new friends, and that is also have a chance to meet their friends in the concert. One of my interview also mentioned social interaction related not only a pleasure to spend their time with friends, they are also a pleasure to spend time with different other people, even though they are not know each other. So this is the reason why socializing with people is very important to motivate them to attend on concert. And the other is about the escapism. A participant may want to escape from the reality, and the reason is the main reason for them to want to distract the daily work and also the responsibility of the work. And also they also mention escaping from work can also let them have more power to get into the work hard. So it can see they have many opportunity and benefits for attending on the concert. And thirdly, about is the influence from others. I separate in 2 areas about social media and friends reaction. Since social media are become important in nowadays, and social media in this current situation, people may like to use Facebook, Instagram, WeChat, which can have more opportunities for them to search the information of using social media. Therefore, social media also become one of the motivation factors to inform them into the concert. And the other is about the friends' reaction. Some of the interviewees may mention about this the reason why they also attend on concerts, since the fans will share the photos on the social media and attract them to attend on those kind of concert. So for conclusion, music plays an important role in Macau and people's daily life, and full of the study, which can find different kinds of reasons why people will attend on those kind of concerts and explore how social media influence their decision making. I have influenced 3 points is important, which is the atmosphere can affect their attention, and socializing with people also is become one of the important motivation factors. And third one is about the social media increasing also is influence them. And then we have some recommendation into 3 categories. One is about the government policy. Since some of my interviewers may think that the Macao venue is very less, and they have no any other choices for them to participate in. Therefore, it can provide more option for the organizer to organize different events, such as organized in outdoors, such in rooms of Singapore, which can bring many opportunities and choices for them to create diversity music event to the public. And second is for the event organizer. Some of my friends may have some comments about the equipment problem and some arrangement problem about the concert. And also second is for the social media. Social media as the marketing tool is very important now to communicate with customer, is very need to attention on it. And about the social factors on online consumption activity is needed to be conducted on the further study. And lastly is about for the community. And some of my interview also mentioned that there are too less activity in Macau, music event in Macau. So most of my interview may suggest that it can generate more music event in Macau for them to improve their cultural level and enjoy the music, and also can enrich their fun into their daily life. And lastly, for the limitation in my research paper, after analyze all the data, I find that it's hard to identify all the data together to different one by one in my research paper. And I will think that in the future can supplement the in-depth interview methods for observing and analyze in the concert test. And lastly, I hope that this paper can let you know the more motivation factors of people why attend on the concerts. And here is my key reference, and that is the end of my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Bobo, for sharing this interesting topic. I do think that the music festival is quite a mandate for the tourism flow. So my daughter is also one of the fans, young fan for the concert. Yeah. So how about the panel member audience? Would you like to have any question to ask Bobo?
Yes.
Hi, Bobo. Very nice presentation. To look into the Macau venue, I just go for that. I think before the pandemic, there are many operators in Macau, like where I'm working in my place, MGM. Before that, we even break the process thinking. We use our rooftop to create a venue to make a concert. That is a different type of concert actually.
Yes.
It's like a 6 to 8 hours concert combined with a food festival kind of things. And I think Macau right now is doing hard to evolve ourselves to become more like a global entertainment
Yes.
places. While looking into the venue, I think for looking into your data, I think one of the question I would like to ask is, besides of Macau resident, if you can do more research around the places, I see quite a lot of visitors actually from Guangzhou, from Shanghai and Beijing, even from Hong Kong. They come over to Macau, not for tourists, as a tourist. They come over all the way to Macau just to attend a concert. What do you think about that, how Macau government can also support the event organizer as a Macau government to support this type of event to promote, because most of the people coming over to Macau just for a concert rather than coming for concert plus tourism to support the tourism industry.
As you mentioned it before, there are many tourists may come to Macau to attend those kind of concerts, and Macau government may have do more promotion on that to attract people come to attend. for the Macau government, what can they do? They can, the promotion is very important. Firstly, the promotion is very important, and then they can also give some of the support on them, such as they can provide some package. I can also provide some package for them to participate in those kind of concerts, for them to think this is one of the benefits for them. Yeah. Thank you. Yes, sorry.
Again, I want to say, I think you got a very interesting topic, very inspirational. I think your research topics cover two major areas. One is young people, one is a live concert. People have different definitions of young people. I think some might think below 30 is young people, but I think some organizations define young people up to 40. So first question should be, I would like to hear from you about your definition of young people. And second, the questions will be talk about the live concert. I think also it covers so many things as well. But what I've seen, you mainly referring to the pop music. I saw lots of Korean band and singer from Hong Kong or whatever. And subsequently, in your slide, I saw music concert. So I also would like to hear from you your definition of live concert as well.
So I answer your first question first. In my standard in younger generation, they must be in their age of about 18 to 30 something is in my younger generation. Since it can be 40 something now, since many people can using their social media in this generation, and social media have become more and more popular, and those people can using those kind of platform for researching the concert information. So I think this is my standard in younger generation. So for the second question is about live concert. Live concert must have different of feeling on the concert, so such as the atmosphere in the concert, and any type of factors also can attract in the live concerts. Some of the live concerts, such as the piano, so such as some opera, they also can be conducted in the live concert also, not just in the pop music. Yeah. Thank you.
I think that is the interesting topic. And I'm curious about maybe your interviewees, because I saw the number of the female is more than the male. Yes, so I'm curious, this is the random to choose your interviewee, or yes, I want to know the reason why the number of the female is more than the male.
And based on my research, the method what I want to send for my interview is based on some email, using the email platform for asking their requirement, and for the email what I said just have the females more than the males. And so yes. So it is the right of the reason female is more than the males.
I have a quick question. I think, thank you for the presentation. It gives a good overview on why people are motivated to go to live music concerts, and what are some of the influences that is generated by using of social media. My question is, from your research and from your study, did it reveal that what would be the main reason for people not to go to these music concerts? I would be interested to know why they are demotivated instead of being motivated.
Some kinds of interviewee, not only in interviewee, some kind of fans, my friends, they may not want to go to the concert since the performer is not very well known for them and they are not interested on them, so they may not want to go to the concert. This is one of the reasons why they don't want to attend on.
So also about the nature
Yeah.
of the performance itself affecting people's decision to go as well. Okay, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, panel members. Feedback to BOBO's presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So the next presentation is about the using festival to maintain the various culture among the bilateral or multicultural people. The presenter is NICOLE. Okay, NICOLE.
So good morning, everyone. My name is NICOLE, and today I would be talking about my research paper, which is about how bicultural or multi-bicultural people maintain their different cultures by using festivals. And thank you for my supervisor, Uvalino Koto, who guided me throughout the year. So firstly, let me explain what I mean by bicultural or multicultural people. So bicultural people could be someone who is highly interested in one culture, so therefore they will learn everything about it and see themselves as part of that culture. And B, someone whose parents are from one culture, but he or she was born and raised in another culture, so making them bicultural. And an example could be American-born Chinese. And finally, it could be someone whose parents are both from different cultures, and that someone is also born and raised in a different country than their parents. So that will make them multicultural. And one example would be like one of my interviewees. She was born and raised here in Macau, but her mom is from the Philippines and her dad is from Portugal. So being bicultural will have its advantages and disadvantages. Advantages could be that they can speak more languages and they are also more open-minded. Some studies were done to compare bicultural people with non-bicultural people. And they were given an image of an item, and then they had to write down as much uses of that item as they could. And as a result, bicultural people came up with more creative ideas than people who are non-bicultural. So the disadvantages could be that they can have identity confusion. They may not truly be aware of what culture they are from, and therefore they will lack a sense of belongingness, and maybe they will neglect one of their cultures because of afraid of getting discrimination. And so this research was made to find out how bicultural people maintain their different cultural backgrounds when they are away from their country. And it is kind of like here in Macau, we have so many foreigners and so many tourists, especially Portuguese people. And so I wanted to find out how they would maintain their cultural backgrounds when they are away from Portugal. And so another reason is because myself, I'm bicultural. And I was curious to find out how people would maintain their different cultural backgrounds. And also it was to find out the connections between cultural identity and festivals. So therefore I came up with these 3 research questions. So firstly, before I talk about the relationship between biculturalism and festivals, I will present the relationship between cultural identity and festivals. So festivals are said to be about language, music, cuisine, and many other elements. And so festivals are not just a meaningless celebration, they actually have meaning inside. And they are all of those elements that make up culture. So festivals are something that have cultural identity inside of them. So after presenting that, I will talk about the relationship between biculturalism and festivals. I think that festivals are a good way of reassuring one's cultural background, especially when you are away from your country, and because that represents that country's culture and it also brings people together. It is, for example, in Macau, the Portugal's National Day is celebrated by organizing the Lusofonia every year. And organizing these types of festivals can give the Portuguese people a sense of belongingness, and also it is a way of reminding them about their culture when they are away from Portugal. And it is kind of a way of showing them that Macau actually cares about their culture and respects them. So for the methodology, I constructed structured face-to-face interviews, and I think this was the best method because I could ask for more detailed information and also ask follow-up questions when I heard something that I didn't mention on my paper. And those are the interview questions that I came up with, and they are all related with the research questions. So this is the demographic table, which, as you can see, the most important part to look at is the cultural background. It shows that they all have 2 or more cultures, so that makes them perfect for my research. And this is the thematic table that I came up with after conducting the interviews. And the ones highlighted will be the ones that I will be talking about today because those are the most important and relevant to the research questions. So then I will explain my findings, and they will be explained by showing some interesting quotes that I found from the interviews. So identity for the interviews is how you see yourself as and how you want people to describe or remember you. And moreover, it's also how you grew up. And one of the interviewers mentioned that it is something very unique because it represents her as a whole. And one important element found from the interviews that influences one's cultural identity would be the school you attended. So if you grew up studying in, let's say, a Portuguese school since you were little, then you will most likely be influenced by Western culture and the people there. And even if you come from a Chinese family. Therefore, schooling was found out to be one of the main elements of affecting one's cultural background. Next, for culture, interviewees describe it as how one person was raised up and what they learned while growing up. It can include language, religion, cuisine, and many other elements. And for one of the interviewees, she mentioned that how she appears to be doesn't define her culture. So that being said, you cannot really assume one's cultural identity based on their appearance. So next, for festivals, for the interviewees, festivals could be something as small as a soccer game or something as big as a big event that everyone celebrates. And they mentioned that festivals have culture inside of them and it is passed down from generation to generation. So after asking all those questions, the researcher found out the connection between cultural identity and festivals. And this is kind of how your cultural background will affect and is connected to what kinds of festivals or holidays you will celebrate. For example, Christians or Catholic people would celebrate Christmas, while on the other hand, Jewish people celebrate Hanukkah because that is part of their cultural background. And after mentioning about festivals, we can relate them to how they would use them to maintain their cultural identities. So by the use of celebrations, a few of the interviewees mentioned that when they were away in Ecuador or in the Philippines during Chinese New Year, that they will still celebrate it over there. And this was their way of maintaining their Chinese traditions and while they were away from Macau. However, I found out that celebrating festivals or holidays is not the only way of maintaining one's cultural identity. Language was found out to be the most used element to maintain it because language is something that you use every day to communicate. And I think that in Macau, language is a very important element in the tourism industry because there are so many tourists and people from all around the world.
So one of the interviewees also mentioned that language is a key feature of how she would maintain her culture. And finally, one of the main elements also was found out to be about cuisine, because by eating the dishes that you used to eat when you were in that country, then it will bring you remind you of the times that you used to live there. And one of the interviewees mentioned that she and her family will have these special lunches when her family and people from the same cultural background would gather to celebrate the culture together. So in conclusion, after analyzing all the information, I found out that although festivals are a good way of maintaining a cultural identity because it can bring people together from the same or different backgrounds, there are also other elements which contribute to the reassurance of biculturalism. And it may be difficult for bicultural people who are in Macau to keep reminding themselves of their cultural identity because Macau doesn't celebrate the festivals of all the cultures around the world. So I would give some suggestions and recommendations to help people find a sense of belongingness. And one could be that they could organize some events similar to the International Parade, which is celebrated every year, but with booths representing different cultures or countries. And the second one would be like during the food festival, I think that maybe they could change the theme to provide more Western cuisine instead of being always Asian cuisine every day. And the third one would be like, it would be nice if there were different festivals about different cultures throughout the year. And it could be something similar to the Lusophonia. And I think that organizing this wider range of cultural events could be a good way of helping the community find a sense of belongingness, but also it could be beneficial for Macau as well because it can attract more tourists to come. And that's it for my presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rico, for presenting this interesting topic. So any question from the floor or panels?
Hi, Nicole. Thanks for your presentations. I just curious, but I think you were researching on a niche group of people. Mm-hmm. When you conduct your research, how could you reach out to them? I think how could you find all those people to interview? Could you share your research experience?
So thank you for your question. Most of the interviewees that I found are people that I know or I have met. And then I reach out to them by asking them that I'm researching about this and if they could help me with doing my interviews. And they were all very keen to help me. Yes. Thank you.
Hi, Nicole. Very nice topic. From your research, have you ever found out how many different kind of theme of the festival besides of Chinese festival in Macau? How many different type of festival besides of Chinese do Macau hosted before in the past years or at least in 2019?
Thank you for your question. To be honest, I didn't do a lot of research on that, but if I conduct further research, then I will definitely think about it. Thank you.
Because I found actually in Macau, we do actually have quite a numbers of different countries festival happening through a year in a regular basis. I think we do have a Thai, a Burma, from Portugal, quite a lot of different countries festival happening every year.
Yes, and my recommendations would actually be to maybe provide more for other cultures because in Macau, there are actually quite a lot of people that are not only from other Asian countries or Portugal. They're also like from maybe America or South America, but in Macau, they don't really celebrate too much events for them. So maybe that's a thing that I would suggest doing. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Nicole, sharing with us. And also thank you, the panel members, offering some insightful views and challenging questions for our students. So on behalf of the IFTM, we would like to present some token appreciation for our panel members. So the first one will from this side, Barry from MGM. Yeah, IFT have a Macau pass, yeah, with our IFTVM logo. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for giving our students some insightful views. Thank you. Thank you. Cecilia. Yeah. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Dr. Barry Ip. Thank you so much. Thank you.